Acelino Freitas, a crowd pleaser supreme, and one of Brazil's biggest ever sporting stars. Zahir Raheem, a long-time heir apparent to a world crown. But now, can he ascend to the throne at last? It's a world title showdown at lightweight. On Friday fight night, the vacant WBO World Lightweight crown is at stake as Freitas bids to regain it and Raheem gets the biggest chance of his career. And there is a huge gulf in experience here. Freitas with 3 world titles to his name already and a man who's featured in some of the most breathtaking battles ever seen on Sky. Raheem, fresh from his most startling achievement, the victory over Eric Morales. Johnny and Nikki join us for the top of the bill from the States. We also check on the progress of America's new hope at middleweight. Andre Ward, the Olympic gold medalist 2 years ago, against Andy Coley. He too, now an unbeaten pro. And here on Friday Fight Night, we also set the scene for a sizzling summer of boxing for Sky viewers, featuring all the best action from here and the States. Ricky's on his way there too, to make his American dream a reality.
Topping the bill in the United States for the, for the very first time. These are the type of things I said when I first turned professional, when I first laid gloves on, that I believe I could do. And now I'm doing it all really. So I think excited isn't the word for it.
And we're all excited about it too. Hatton meets Luis Collazo in Boston next week, and it's coming live and exclusive to Sky Box Office. But this week, it is the biggest fight of the year so far in Las Vegas. It's made for Oscar De La Hoya. He loves the limelight, but can he produce one more big show? Or is Ricardo Mayorga too wild, too dangerous, and too hungry?
Yeah, he says he's gonna knock me out. He's gonna come full steam ahead. Keep talking as much as you want. Get under my skin as much as you want, because you're just throwing fuel to the flame.
And that sets it up nicely. Already there for us, Jim Watt, and first, Ian Dark.
Well, a massive summer of Sky boxing action from the United States starts right here with the comeback of Oscar De La Hoya against the wild slugger from Nicaragua, Ricardo Mayorga. They're calling this fight Danger Zone, and for De La Hoya at this late stage it is, isn't it, Jim?
Yeah, it certainly is. De La Hoya is a businessman as well as a boxer, and part-time fighters don't reach the same physical condition they once did. So if you add to that the punching power of Mayorga, yeah, dangerous times.
Why do you think De La Hoya's doing this? I mean, he's a multi-millionaire already.
I don't think he wants to leave a wonderful career on the Hopkins loss. I think he's embarrassed about that, going out in a stoppage. I think he wants to go out with a win, but it's not certain that he's going to do that.
Of course, Mayorga is a huge trash talker. He's been hitting new lows of, well, depravity almost in his build-up to this fight. Is he trying to goad De La Hoya into a brawl? Yeah, that's what he must do. He realises he doesn't have the same class as De La Hoya. He has to drag him into a brawl. That's what he's trying to do. But I think De La Hoya is experienced enough to cope with it properly. Well, no big fight, of course, would be complete without somebody trying to pull out, and Mayorga's been demanding $8 million instead of the $2 million he's getting paid. But don't worry, this fascinating fight does go ahead.
So all is set then for the early hours of this coming Sunday morning. It's live from 2 a.m. on Sky Sports 1, and there are replays at 8 a.m. on Sky Sports 1 and again at noon on Sunday on Sky Sports 3. And much more later on De La Hoya, Hatton and a host of other stars appearing this summer on Sky. But we start on Friday Fight Night with Acelino Freitas. At super featherweight, he generated as much excitement as any world champion of recent times. Since stepping up to lightweight, he's won and lost the WBO World Crown. Now he has to show he's still a force. By contrast, Zahir Raheem is almost untried at this level, but this is the chance he's waited years for. Freitas is on the way as we join Glenn McCrory, and first, Adam Smith.
Well, as Brazil count down to the defence of the World Cup, here comes one of their sporting heroes who's become a star on account of his fists rather than his feet. It's the hugely popular Acelino Freitas, aiming tonight to regain not only his world crown, but his stature in the sport after that rather indignant defeat to Diego Corrales. He's a thunderous puncher, a terrific gladiator, but it seems, Glenn, he still has plenty to prove.
Yes, I think he does. He wants redemption after that loss to Diego Corrales, and just to finish his career in the best style possible. He's been a terrific campaigner, a great champion. The man with the KO punch won his first 20 fights inside schedule, really is Mr. Excitement.
Plenty of support for Freitas here in the Foxwoods Casino.
And the prophecy read that one day, like the phoenix aroused from the ashes,
well, look at this outfit.
That a boy would be born.
He's waited a decade for his big chance. The slick, skillful Zahir Raheem finally gets the golden crack at a world crown. He's been lost in the shadows, warming up main events really here on America's East Coast. He's done things the hard way, but he's emerged with a shock win really over Eric Morales last time out. And that's why he's here, Glenn. He deserves his chance.
He does. A great win against Morales. His career has finally taken off. 10 years in the making. A very, very talented amateur. Just never really got his chance until the victory over Morales.
Very confident feel to Raheem.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and again, welcome to the largest casino in the world, Foxwoods Resort Casino, here in Mashantucket, Connecticut, as tonight, Arthur Pelullo's Banner Promotions and Bob Arum's Top Rank Incorporated present the HBO Boxing After Dark main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the vacant WBO Lightweight Championship of the world. The three judges ringside scoring this bout will be Glenn Feldman, Clark Sammartino, and Steve Weisfeld. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, veteran referee, Mr. Steve Smoger. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the white trunks and weighing in tonight at 135 pounds. From Las Vegas, Nevada, the former U.S. Olympian brings an impressive professional record of 27 victories against 1 defeat, 16 victories by way of knockout, and tonight he enters the ring ranked number 3 by the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing Zahir King Raheem. And across the ring, his adversary fights out of the red corner, wearing the green, yellow, and blue. He, too, weighed in tonight at 135 pounds. His professional record, 37 victories, 32 by way of knockout, and he, too, carries a single defeat. From Salvador, Bahia, Brazil, ladies and gentlemen, ranked number 1 in the world by the WBO, presenting the former WBO Junior Lightweight Champion, the former WBA Super Featherweight Champion, and the former WBO Lightweight World Champion, Acelino Popo Freitas.
Real nice job. Good. Gentlemen, you were given your instruction both in English and Portuguese. Please obey my commands, respect the bell, and above all, protect yourself at all times. God bless you both. Touch gloves.
Steve Smoger, very experienced referee with the instructions. The WBO lightweight title at stake, vacated by Diego Corrales as he closes in on the fascinating decider with Jose Luis Castillo. And that leaves here this appealing, probably tactical battle between two of the finest fighters in the world. Acelino Freitas, Glenn here, the puncher, and Zahir Raheem very much a style based on ring craft.
Yes, the classic matchup, the boxer versus the puncher, and it's Freitas who will be looking for the big shot early on. He has to try and unsettle Zahir Raheem, and he certainly has the punch power to do that. 13 first-round wins in his career, so very exciting early on.
32 knockouts in total for Freitas. Raheem with 16 in his 27 victories. Big hitter when he was a featherweight, but this up at 9 stone 9 now. Freitas physically probably that little bit stronger.
It's important for Raheem to get into this fight very early, try and get the center of the ring. There he can just move as he wishes, plenty lateral movement in and out, never really needs to stand still too long against Freitas.
So if you're looking to get the jab flowing, terrific amateur, Zahir Raheem. It's just taken him time to get noticed on the professional circuit. He's come up the hard way, but he is coming off a career best win over Eric Morales, which was thoroughly deserved.
Yes, Raheem's confidence will be high after that, and you just wonder what's going through Freitas' mind still, the memories of that disaster against Corrales.
Oh, clash of heads there, clash of heads early on in the fight. Freitas not happy about that at all. Steve Smoger inspecting the damage. It's here. Was it accidental? Really not happy, Freitas, at all.
Hey, Peter, this cut is a butt, this abrasion is a butt. Accidental butt.
It's a butt and it's accidental. So if the fight is stopped before 4 rounds, it will be a no decision. After 4 rounds, it goes to the cards under WBO rules. But Freitas seemed to come off that worse, Glenn.
Well, he seemed to complain a little more. There did seem more of a nick on Raheem's eye. And really, we don't want to see Freitas getting unsettled early on.
Yeah, the cut is to the eye of Raheem. But the disorientation, dizziness from Freitas. The fighter really settled after the opener. Oscar Suarez leading the corner. Suarez, who took over much of Nassim Hamad's training in the back end of his career. Dedicated to his fighters, and he's been with Freitas a while now. Some people have said he's tried to turn him from a puncher to a boxer.
Well, I think he's trying to make him more of a complete fighter, not rely on the punch power too much, and there's the clash of heads. Just the right hand going over the top of the head and then just falling in there, Raheem, and I think he wants to try and get close to Freitas so as not to get caught with the heavy shots.
Here's the second round. The white trunks of the 29-year-old, formerly from Philadelphia, now based in Las Vegas, Zahir Raheem, aiming to become a world champion for the very first time. And Acelino Freitas, the former 2-weight world champion, he's held this belt before, and he gets in with the right hand there. Raheem shakes his head, but it's a bit of success for Freitas, and he can bang so hard.
Well, Raheem come out just looking to use that jab to better effect, try and get more power into that punch, but when he's throwing it, he's leaving the jab out there, and that's leaving an opening to that right hand from Freitas. Again, Freitas looks for that shot and just starting to warm up a little bit now.
Both men have been out of the ring for several months as Freitas just dabs his forehead again. He was annoyed about the clash of heads in the opener as they tumbled to the deck. It's a messy start here.
It's messy, it's wild, but it's starting to look as if Freitas is getting his way. He's making this wild and rough house. Raheem needs to keep him on the jab, control it behind that left.
Freitas won't want Raheem to get in any sort of a rhythm, because that's when his slick style could come into play.
Yes, and he's upsetting that rhythm with the right hand. That looks the best punch so far for Freitas. Raheem holding his left too low.
Fierce fist from Freitas, no knockdown. Called by Steve Smoger.
Not a knockdown, Adam, but he's starting just to rough Raheem up in close.
The size of Freitas, very broad. Only 5'7", but physically always been big. He was so tight at super featherweight for many years. Raheem, naturally the lighter man, campaigned at 9 stone for so much of his career. That could come into play.
Raheem just being taken out of his stride in this round. He's thinking too much about what Freitas is trying to do. Freitas landing with the jabs. It's scrappy in this second round, but still Freitas doing more.
Got the cleaner shots going in from the man from Salvador de Bahia. It's around the back of the head. Steve Smoger heavily involved, but that was Freitas' round. Don House in the corner of Zahir Raheem, been with him through his career. Master plan, the way to beat Eric Morales, which he did fairly comfortably last time out. And I guess, Glenn, the point is, was that Morales on the way down, or is this Zahir Raheem better than most of us think?
Well, it wasn't Morales at his best. He's since lost to Manny Pacquiao, so it wasn't the best of Eric Morales. Difficult to judge how good he really is, Raheem. It's been a slow-burning career. Now he's really got his chance to shine.
Yeah, one defeat on this slate to Rocky Juarez on points. No great damage done there. Juarez, who meets Marco Antonio Barrera coming up. One of our many fights on Sky over the summer as they bundle down to the floor again. He's having to work hard here, Steve Smoger. Who's to blame, really?
Well, I think most of it is from Zahir Raheem, who's just a little bit troubled by the power, I feel, and I think he's looking to grab, and as Freitas is trying to get his hands free, they're wrestling and falling over each other. But I just suspect Raheem has felt the power.
It's another right hand, just slips through the middle from Freitas. Always naturally being able to hit. That's why he's such a hero back in Brazil. Thousands turn out to welcome him back. And he starred there on occasions. Even his wedding was live on national television. They've absolutely loved him over the last decade. Can he win back a world title for his people?
Well, he's the busier man of the two. Acelino Freitas, who's just trying to poke out that jab and looking for the solid right. But he's stopping Raheem getting into any sort of rhythm and starts using that jab.
Freitas trying to get his own jab, pumping out. Occasionally overstretches, can be tagged himself Freitas. That adds to the attraction. Little vulnerability. Been floored a few times over the years. That's better from Raheem, but late in the round.
But still, he's only lost once, Freitas, in 38 fights at a very high level. Still doing more in this round.
Just warming up here. Well, Acelino Freitas has plenty to prove to himself, really, I think, after the defeat to Diego Corrales. How's he doing for you so far?
Well, he's getting back in there. He looks strong. For me, slightly doing the better.
He's coming off a couple of low-key wins since losing in this very ring to Corrales. It's a strange one. He was floored in the 8th, 9th and 10th rounds, and then just ran out of gas. Many critics called him a quitter. Said he said no mass, but Freitas, I think, just simply had no more to give on that occasion.
Yes, it all came apart. He was having problems in his personal life at that time, but it was a really bad night, and I'm sure he didn't want to be remembered too much for that, and wants to try and regain this title.
He's 31 later this year as he gets a left hook in, which made Raheem's knees dip.
Well, you see Freitas just starting to get some rhythm. That was a nice combination in there, and the left hook just stung Raheem.
He's always had a bit of speed. Punches have come quickly, surprisingly, and that's why he's blown so many opponents away, even at world level, Glenn.
Yes, he's a good puncher, but he's much more than that. Now, don't forget about his boxing ability. It's quite awkward, but he's strong, languid, and a very, very good fight. Only one loss.
There's the jab. To use some of that ability. Holds good wins over boxers Arthur Gregorian and Joel Casamayor, Freitas. So he can mix it up.
Well, the problem for Raheem here is Raheem's waiting to try and get the counters on. He's trying to play the counter puncher, but that's not working because Freitas is staying busy. If he's not landing with a jab, he's pushing it out there. He's just feeling it, also trying to go to the body. So Raheem needs to do more.
It's the right hand. Again, Raheem falls to the floor, and again, Steve Smoger says no knockdown. The blunt to the cut left eye from the accidental clash in the first round there to see. But just hasn't really got going yet, Raheem. Freitas hasn't let him.
Raheem landed a decent right hand in there. Freitas just seemed to wobble a little bit. I'm not sure if it was off balance.
He needs something, and something quickly, Raheem.
He needs to do something special, Raheem. He's really got to throw the punches now. Needs combinations to try and nullify this right hand of Freitas.
Just working on the cut. House just wants Raheem to relax. I mean, they know the talent. Portuguese in the corner of Acelino Freitas, who does speak English.
I think relaxing for Raheem is the wrong tactics. He's got to be busier. He's got to try and beat Freitas to the punch, and that's what he's not doing. Freitas landing with a long right hand, and the legs just slipping out from under him there. Landed with the blow, but the left foot just slipped underneath and he lost his balance.
Here's the 5th round. Vacant WBO 9 stone 9 belt. on the line, former property of Acelino Freitas, remember in the green and yellow. Zahir Raheem in his 29th outing, the first major title opportunity. Got to grasp it.
Short right landing from Freitas. And Raheem not coming back as he should. This is his big chance. He's waited in the wings for so long.
On 101 of 104 amateur bouts, Raheem, and just starts to get his combinations going, put a bit of energy into this. A good right hand from Freitas. There's the gap. He's finding it, but then Raheem finds one back of equal measure.
Starting to get more interesting now as they're both starting to land with solid punches. Still looking ragged, Raheem. Never really slipped into a rhythm that he's looked comfortable with.
Yes, turning in to a brawl type affair. Not much smoothness going on. These rounds are close. I mean, Freitas might be nicking them, but they're tight.
Yes, they're pretty close, but if you look at who's always leading, who's working, when Raheem isn't, Freitas is sticking out that jab, and I think that's just the difference between the two.
Freitas has the experience, of course. He's been here so many times. Won his first world title way back in August 1999. So 7 years in this sort of company. And for Raheem, he's had, what, 8 months?
This one fight's really brought Raheem to the forefront, that win against Morales, where he's had an excellent career for a decade now, Acelino Freitas. Been in against the better men, he's had the better wins, and that might just be the difference here.
Loose-limbed with the jab, Raheem. Gonna move his head, confuse Freitas. A bit smarter from Raheem in this, the 5th round. So many people in boxing looking forward to this clash here at Foxwoods. Zahir Raheem's big chance. He came into the ring with the costume, the crown. But will he be a world lightweight king at the end of proceedings tonight? He survived Freitas' big shots early. Just coming back into it, Glenn.
Well, it would be a good plan to just try and nullify Freitas early on. That's when he's at his most dangerous. But now he needs to really get a grip in the fight, because he hasn't really been busy enough, just starting to get into the fight a little bit in the 5th, Raheem, but he really needs to pick up the pace from here.
Plenty of Brazilian colours in the crowd here. Cheering Freitas' shots. Again, out of range, bit wild. Raheem not afraid to stand and trade, and look at that. He bundles Freitas over, apologises to the referee. Is that out of order, or was he just showing Freitas he can match him physically?
Well, they touched gloves there in way of an apology, but he did manage to slam Freitas to the ground. He did get through just before that with a couple of nice punches, and I think it was his way of trying to stamp his authority by saying, I'm here.
There was a look of fire in the eyes of Acelino Freitas as he went back to the corner with Oscar Suarez momentarily. Is that a sign that Raheem means business after a tepid start for his challenge?
Could also be a sign of frustration and not really starting this fight the way I think he would have liked to, using that jab in the movement to better effect.
So you can see the jab and skills that he's honed for years. At times, Raheem, just got to keep it together. It is scrappy. It looks difficult in there.
It's all about pace and tempo, and that's what Raheem has to lift now. He's trying to be the counter-puncher in a fight that really he needs to dominate. He needs to be first to the jab. And in this round, just starting to try and double up on that punch. That'll take an awful lot away from Freitas' game if he can nullify Freitas' jab.
Almost approaching the halfway mark, and it's rare to say this, but the fight hasn't actually settled down yet.
Oh, again, a very close round, ragged.
No knockdown once more. That must be the 4th or 5th time Raheem has touched the canvas. Wild lunge from Freitas. Strange session. The Brazilian flags. Popo Freitas. We've seen back in Britain a few times. Fought Barry Jones in the defence of his WBO super featherweight title. Remember when Barry Jones floored him in the first round? He couldn't punch Barry, could he?
I think Barry Jones was the most surprised of everybody.
Freitas went on, of course, to win that one. What do you make of this?
Well, it's a little scrabby, ungainly, but he's getting back into it a little bit. Raheem trying to be busy, caught Freitas with a couple of good punches, and then just flung him to the ground.
Bucket, corners, bucket.
Second half, strange affair so far for the vacant WBO Lightweight title. WBC champion Diego Corrales. Defense against Jose Luis Castillo in their trilogy. IBF champion Jesus Chavez, WBA Juan Diaz. Good division. Plenty of fights out there, but what about this one? And it's close.
Yes, Freitas slightly doing that bit more, looking at the lead off in 58-57 at the halfway point.
No knockdown, hold.
And I think Oscar Suarez was reading the riot act to Freitas, and he's come out just looking to mean business and try and get a little bit more behind those punches.
3 American judges at ringside, Glenn Feldman, Steve Weisfeld and Clark Sarmentino. It'd be really interesting to know what they're thinking and how they're seeing it.
Punch. Step, 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 step.
Standing his ground a little more, Raheem looking to load up with his own punches.
I mean, he must be confident after beating Eric Morales and probably growing